Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be demonstrating how to use and install Dataform tools Vscode extension that are built to make it easy for us to work with Dataform directly in Vscode. So to start with, I'm gonna, as usual, search for Dataform tools on the extension and click on install, right? So that's how we would install any other extension. So the main difference is obviously it has external dependency as compared to like many other extensions that you would install. So for example, you need Dataform CLI, you need SQL Fluff, you need gcloud setup and all that. So I'll just close all these pop-ups for now and go to like my Dataform repository. As you can see, this is like the regular Dataform repository with like different SQL X files. And if I open any one of them, let's say 100 clubs, I have syntax highlighting, which is fine. And I want to see the compile query now for this. So if you go back to the extension and scroll down a bit, you would see that this is the compile query. So the easiest way to get this is you just go to the file and just save the file. So if I just press Command S, if you see the keyboard keystrokes there, so it tells me what I'm missing. So if I see here, Dataform not found, yeah, so which means I need to install Dataform CLI. So if I go back to the extension and look at the requirements of the extension, I would see that npm I need to install Dataform CLI using this command, but it requires Node.js. So we need to install Node.js first. So let's go to Google and just search on how to install Node.js. I'll put this link in the description. So to install Node.js on a Ubuntu-based system, you have to run this. So let me just copy that and go back to Vscode, terminal, and then just run that, right? I'll run that and just source my bash RC, so everything is available in path. So let me just go back to the next step, which is nvm install. So it's going to install a particular version of the node. And if I go back again now, so I can run all these at once now because all it's doing is printing the versions. So as long as that doesn't give you an error, you're all good. So that's node installs, which means we can install our Dataform npm install -g Dataform -cli command. So if I just go back to my terminal and run that, so I would be able to install Dataform CLI in particular. So if that installs, takes like 15 seconds, less than that. So I can do Dataform -- version to check what version am I on, and I can also do Dataform compile to check if I'm able to compile the project without any errors. So ignore this warning for now. It's because I have like too high a version of Node. So yeah, that's all good. What's the next step? Before going to the next step, we can actually like compile our query again and see what message do we get now. So we should not have got Dataform not found error. So let's see. There's still the error, which makes me wonder. So let's like reload this terminal, reload the window. Yeah, so that's gone now. So all we had to do was reload the window and get it to work. So it says Dataform tools extension recommends to install errorless extension. So let's do that as well. I'll show you what it does. All it does is put this errors in a prettier format in front of the line. So yeah, it becomes easy. So I think I've already installed it. I just reload the window to make sure I have it as well. So I think the next thing we're missing is gcloud CLI. So we'll just go back to installation steps. So clicking on that button takes you to the GitHub repo where the installation steps are there. So that's where it comes to the extension as well. So all I have to do is install the gcloud CLI, and we're using Debian Ubuntu. So all we got to do is follow these steps. So just paste them in your terminal and clear the screen. Go back and let's run this now. Yes. Clear again. Installation for Neo versions. For this command we have a Neo version, and add gcloud CLI distribution package for Neo distribution start. So let's do that, and so apt install the CLI. Okay. Yes. Okay, wait for this to complete. So it seems like it's completed now. You can verify that by doing gcloud version. Seems like it's fine. So let's compile our query again, see what's up. So it's still complaining because we have done this part installation, but we haven't initialized our account. So we're gonna do that now. So gcloud init. So it's gonna pop up a new. It's going to ask you to sign in. So all you got to do is copy this, open your Chrome again, and just follow the regular sign in. Copy that, paste it, select your project, and then default region. I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to select Europe West 2A. That's done, and I'm going to do the next step, which is application default. Run that. It's going to do the same thing again. It's going to set up the credentials JSON file for you. Allow, paste. So the last step is to set the project. If I go back, need to specify the project, of course. We can get that by going to the GCP area, grabbing the project ID, pasting that in. Yep. So now let me just recompile by saving the file again, and hopefully it should show me the GB process. Obviously this is like a zero, showing a 0 GB because there's not much data. You can actually see the data if I go to a different file. I think it's meta, so it will show me like a non-zero value here now. So I'll just zoom out a bit, hope that's okay, and show you the different functionalities of the extension. So I'll go back and forth in Google Chrome to make sure I don't miss out any features while I'm showing it. So if I go to Google Chrome and go to the GitHub page and go to this table where I have listed all these features. So the first one we saw is compile query and dry run stats, which is basically like looking at the compile query in this window. So you can see assertions, query. You can also see pre-operations as well. Let me show you one with pre-operation. That's a bad example. That's from the test. Maybe incremental if I have any. Yeah, this is a good example for showing pre-operations. So yeah, we can see the pre-operation, incremental pre-operations, incremental query, non-incremental query, and all that stuff. And you can see the cost of running that as well. So if I go back now, and the next one is the dependency graph. To see the dependencies of a model, you have two options. So one is to click on this icon that is here and open this load dependency graph, and you can click on that. So it will open a new window. So make sure you close the other windows to make sure you make some space for it. So it will open the folder, the current model, and it will show the dependencies. If it's belong to a different data set, it will show it a different color. So in this demonstration, I only have like two data sets, so it only shows the Dataform and then the other one. So you can select the tags if multiple tags are available. You can select multiple different model as well, and just traverse through the graph. Like you can see the dependencies, and if you want to see the dependence, you can probably pick something like this and show downstream as well if it's present. In this case it's not present, but yeah, if it's present, we'll show you the downstream dependencies as well. Let's try to pick one with downstream. Let's see, upstream, downstream. Yeah, this one has downstream because O100 game meta feeds all these different other files, right? Yeah, so that's one way. And the other way you can load these dependencies is like you can click here, show dependencies in graph. it'll open this graph that you saw previously as well. Yep, so yeah, that's the graph. So if I go back now to the next one, inline SQLX diagnostics on the file, inline diagnostics. So yeah, that's what we install the errorless extension for. So if you see here, this one, we have installed this so that we see the error messages on the same line instead of the squiggly line. So what I mean by that is, if I uninstall this, right, and reload the window, and let me just go to this file and just remove this. So this is an error, but it shows you the error here, of course, which is what you would see in the UI as well, and shows you the squiggly line here as well. The error is there, but I really like it with the errorless extension, if I can say it correctly. And if I just enable that, so see like how it put the error on the same line so that it's actually visible. So yeah, that's what I really like. And also the errors can be shown on multiple blocks as well. So what I mean by that is, if I open the multiple errors one, see this one has errors in post operation. Basically the query label should be after the declare statement, so that error will go away automatically once I fix that. And the next one is current timestamp. So once I fix that, that will also go away. And if I go to the next one, I can fix this as well by adding a C, right? So yeah, that's the beauty of it, because you can see the errors quickly. So I'll just undo this so that I have this as what previously was. Yeah, so I can get all the other errors again, just so that I can, if I want to demo it to someone else as well, is there. Yeah, so that's what the errors. The next feature is a preview results, query results, which you can do by going back and saving this file again and clicking on data preview. So if I click on data preview, we'll open a BigQuery like console and show you the results. You can also do is you can type and filter through this as well. If I do GB1, is gonna filter all the GB1 results, and you can like go to the last result as well, first result as well. And you can also view the job in BigQuery by clicking this link, and it'll take you to the BigQuery job along with the results present. So you can either if it's a smaller query, you can like just play around here directly in Vscode. But if it's a bigger query, like if it's like returning more than like anything more than like, I would say 5,000, any real work, I would say just do it in BigQuery. But yeah, this is like a feature available in case if you want to like quickly preview the data, right? And the next one is run feature. So this, when you click run now, I know for a fact that it's going to error out, but it's important for me to show this error because you should know how to fix this error. So if I click run, it's going to open the terminal and start running the well, I was expecting an error. Is because I already probably have that file. Let me just remove that file because that file won't be present by default, and let me run that again. So yeah, this is the error that you would get if you don't have the TF credentials file, JSON file, this file present in your repository. You can generate that by using Dataform init creds and then selecting the region, selecting default because that's what gcloud set that up. You can leave the project ID blank and just press enter because it's going to use the default project you have, and that's it. So once you do that, you can just press run again, and then it should just create your table just fine. And you can verify that by just going to the table by using this link and details and 251, and that's what the time currently is as well. So if I go back to the extension, go to the page, where are we? Go to definition. So this is quite important and cool. So let's say I have this file. Let's pick another file for now because I'm bored of this file now. So By the way, if you switch the file, if you see like it's quite fast in terms of loading the next content. If I go back, that's the file. If I go to this one, the content is updated like quite instantaneously. If you have noticed. So so the next functionality is go to definition. So you can like hover over these different models. It will show you what table are there, and then you can click them as well to go to BigQuery as well. And if it's a direct source, it's going to show you just the link to that source itself. But you can go to the definition by right clicking and clicking go to definition. So it'll gonna take you to the table. We have an error here we can fix. So let me just fix that. Let me just go back. So this is an important, like, useful command. You can just, in the command palette, Command Shift P or Control Shift P, click go back and takes you to where you came from. So let me just demonstrate that again. If you want to go here, it's gonna go to definition. Is gonna take you here, and Command Shift P, go back, and then just come back. You can configure the shortcuts. So for me, I can like quickly do that, just come back because I've configured the shortcuts, and like I can do that from the keyboard directly. All right, so what is next? So auto completion of columns. So this is quite an interesting feature that I had built quite recently, I would say. So let me actually demonstrate that by creating a new model itself. So let's say I want to create a new model. So I'm going to save this and call it test.sqlx and start writing config table complete all this. And I'm going to do select, I'm going to do with test as, and select everything from $clubs. And I'm going to do select everything from test. Right. So now if I want to like see with the columns inside this test CTE, I can place my cursor here and press Control Space and just go down and see like where this column is coming from, and you can select the column as well, and or we can just type it. It will automatically like complete if you know roughly what is the column that you want. And it also works with multiple things as well. So let's say if I do like games, or let's say players as this, and select everything from $players. Also, this is part of our auto completion as well. You can see the ref is auto completing here, players, and select everything from players. So that's a valid query. You can just do that. I think I'm missing a comma here. Yeah. So this column is from player. So this is going to be a valid query because so that makes it really nice feature to have. And the other auto completions are dependencies. You already saw that, and you can also autocomplete here dependencies, and then this will autocomplete as well. So this thing needs to be an array nowadays. Yeah, that's a valid one, right? I'm gonna remove this for now. And also tags, also you can autocomplete tags, and then just there's only one tag. That's why it only showed me one. Yeah, I can remove that as well. And code actions, I think you already saw this briefly. Let me just show that to you again. If I search for row number and just undo this. Okay, so let's say you have this query and you create an error here by removing the row number accidentally to O number. So if you notice, the error shows you like, did you mean row number? So which means it's allowing, like, it's giving you a hint. So what I've done is taken that error message, and I've noticed the pattern is exactly this whenever I get this error message. So I can like take the suggestion out and replace this with the actual word under the like cursor. So if you hover, like if you put your cursor here, quick fix comes up. Click on quick fix, you can replace this with the row number. So yeah, that's how you can quickly fix it. Obviously it seems like, oh, why would I not type row number? So if I demonstrate that again, how I would do this is like, yeah, I did that. I can just, you know, press the keyboard shortcuts and make it really fast without even thinking about it. It's not like a thought about process. It's like we just do it. So if I just go back, that's why I said apply drive installation to the speed of thought. So you just ingrain the keyboard shortcuts in your brain. So running a file and a tag. So run a file tag, there's many options. You can either click this, right? Either click this to run, or you can like use the command palette. So you can open that by using Command Shift P, Control Shift P, and do Dataform. So all the Dataform related commands will come up here. So you can just keep scrolling down. So if you see like run a tag, and then you can select the tag, and it's gonna start running that tag. Here I'm gonna not run the whole thing, but if you see the command here, it says running tags this, and you have all sorts of options as well. You can select like if you want full refresh. So if you see Dataform run files tags, you can select if you want to run multiple tags, multiple files. You can like select the files using like, you know, this check marks. I'm gonna cancel that for now, and I'm gonna show you everything. Leave some full explanation. That's running in files and tags, right? And you can also do that using this play button as well. So this run is equivalent to that play. The run button is like came in late December. So that's something I built because I think this was not super obvious and most people don't use the command palette. So I was like, let me just build directly in here so that people can see how to use it. And what's next? SQL Fluff. So to make SQL Fluff, make sure you have the SQL Fluff binary installed. What I mean by that is if you do open the terminal and do SQL Fluff version, you see some kind of not error. You see the version of it, right? Okay. And if I do pip3 install SQL Fluff, I guess SQL Fluff install, which is already installed, and then I do SQL Fluff version, you should show the version. So once I have that, let me demonstrate. So actually, so I have configured my formatter to capitalize all these words. So which should happen when I format using this sparkly button that I've made here. If I do that, it capitalizes it and formats some of the other stuff which was not formatted before. And the cool thing about this formatter is not only formats the SQL part of the query, it also formats the config part. So let's say somebody writes a config as so for whatever reason, you can use this and format it, which is a beautiful thing. So yeah, it formats the SQL X file, the JS part as well. What else do we have? So that's formatting, BigQuery snippets. You might have noticed while I was doing it. So if I go to test and start typing, let's say that, and then the current date, let's say current date, you see like how it's auto completing all these for me. So this is because the snippets are set up thanks to another BigQuery extension. Where I borrowed it from. So this person had written all these SQL Fluff snippets, not SQL Fluff, what I'm saying, BigQuery snippets, where I borrowed it from. Yeah, so I just capitalized it because I personally use capital for all of this. So yeah, so you can just tap over them and, you know, it gives you the documentation. It does what does more than enough for daily use. So that's that. And let me see what else is left. I think I'm definitely missing something. Oh yeah, JavaScript go to definitions. I missed JavaScript go to definition. So let me just try to find the JavaScript. Where's some JavaScript there? Okay, so here I have used this file called params. If I go to params.js, if you see like there's many definitions that I've made here. So previously what we would have to do is go to this file, see what Chelsea Club ID is, come back and know. Okay, if I want to know what this is, I can just search here and find the file and go here. But in the using this extension, you can just hover over it and it will show you the value of this variable, which is great. And you can also go to definition, and it will take you to the line where the variable is defined. And also I have this JS doc that I wanted to demo as well. If I go here, this is a function that returns the name and the age as a string. I mean, quite useless function, but it's for the demo. So if I hover over it, it'll show me the definition, JS doc definition, that is defined here, if you see in the top. And yeah, I think that's can be quite useful, handy. And yep, so you can go to definition as well. Going back, thing that I forgot is data lineage. So let me just pull up a file that has one. Let's say this one. Okay, so you can see the dependencies and dependence of a model. You can also see the downstream dependencies as well. So for me right now, I've not configured it in my GCP project. So obviously this is my personal GCP project because it doesn't have any external dependencies on it, and I haven't enabled the permissions on it as well. But if you are using a real project in your work, you'll be able to see the external dependencies of your model through this. Yeah, this can be super handy, and this was something I developed quite recently and quite useful. Yeah, so that's about it. I think that's all the features, and I think covered everything. Feel free to check out the Windows video that I have for installation, because I think most people use Windows that I know of. So the process is a bit different there on how to install G-Cloud, especially. Dataform CLI is very similar once you have the npm and node set up. So yeah, feel free to raise any issues that you have on GitHub. Comment on the YouTube video if you find something annoying or something is not working for you. Happy to help there as well. And yeah, contributions are welcome as well to the project. I think we have a few contributors. I would like to shout out these two people here who have contributed some features and made great suggestions and reviewed PRs as well, and contributed to the project. Yeah, thank you so much.